Welcome to Fort Fritz, episode 35. I am your host, Fritz, joined as always by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Kaz.
Hello.
And Angela.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm going to get right to it. We are in the front yard of the fort. I have never seen these tracks before. They look like they have studded the entire front yard, almost where the septic tank is.
Ooh, that's not good.
It just looks like, I mean, how would you describe this?
Big feet.
The big, weird,
Really big,
Right.
big feet.
but not the.
They're not normal.
Humanoid, sort of toad.
Some of these look like they might have
Yeah.
3 toes.
Very stompy.
Very stompy.
Stompy.
Yeah, there was a big angry thing was outside here. A big angry thing.
So I've got stompy tracks in the front yard.
Most
and
definitely.
All I can think of is it's got to be someone with like a big boot, right, walking around in the front yard.
No, I see toes. I
No,
see
they're
toes.
definitely like definition
Maybe
of
like
toe.
claws.
There are toes, yeah.
Maybe it's someone with those weird shoes.
Those
that have
Vibram shoes.
Yeah, maybe it's
Yeah.
those, because those guys are more terrifying
looks
than
like
any
a-
monster.
Like a sloth foot. You guys ever see sloth foot? Looks a little bit like a giant, like a huge, monstrous kind of sloth.
Oh, God.
Wait.
The steps do look very slow.
Slow, but stompy.
Wait, hold on. There's an old ancient sloth named a Guampathere, and it's hypothesized that they ate avocados and then they pooped the seeds out, and then that's why we got avocados.
Is that real?
It is real. Guampathere. Are you telling me this is a Guampathere eating all my goddamn avocados in the backyard?
Goddamn.
Wait,
might
so
be.
there's so guacamole is basically an after part of poop in some way?
I'll let you figure that one out.
That's all poop.
Ugh,
What a terrible way to think of that.
I know, my tacos are ruined.
What a delicious way to think about that, though.
Poop taco.
So does anyone know what I'm talking about? Am I going to get all my avocados eaten now?
Seems like a problem.
Takes forever to grow. Thank you.
Well, you should be worried about your avocados.
Okay. Oh, God. Thank God I haven't planted them yet.
Your avocados are fine.
Thank God.
All of our lives, however, are in danger.
What?
Yep, every single one of us. We are all completely in peril
Why?
right now as we speak. Well, I guess none of you have ever heard of Mapinguari?
You're what?
Mapinguari. Let me tell you about the possibility of this creature stomping around in the grounds that we should really maybe pay attention to.
Oh, God.
Now, deep in the forests of Brazil lives a possible distant cousin to what we have in America known as the Bigfoot.
Oh.
You've heard of the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So this might be one of his cousins.
Really?
Yes.
Those
And
are
especially
big
the way these tracks look and how he said sloth-like and claw-like and just, it's not good. It's not good. His name is Mapinguari.
How do you spell that?
It is spelled Mapinguary. Now, the Mapinguari is very terrifying. Its name means the roaring animal or the fetid beast.
Nice. I
Fetid
love that.
beast.
I like that second one.
That's awesome. I'm going to change my name to Fetid Beast when I'm on stage.
So what does fetid mean?
Rotten, stinking, horrible,
Like corpse
decaying
plant? Yes.
corpse. Yeah.
Is that why feta cheese is so stinky?
It's
Fetid.
feta, not fetid
Fetid
cheese.
cheese.
If you're getting that, you might look out. Your cheesemonger might be messing with you at this point. You want to try some fetid cheese, huh? Fetted out back for a week.
Sounds the same.
Taste totally different. Some may scoff and say that it's nothing more than a ground sloth. I'm looking at you, Kaz. But I
What
assure
other
you,
kinds of sloths are there? than
tree
ground?
sloths.
Yeah, they got 2 or 3 or
shit.
4 or
Yeah,
5 toes.
Touche.
Yeah.
And then water, probably.
Yeah.
Fire sloths and earth sloths.
Water sloths.
Air sloths.
Flying sloths.
Flying sloths.
Just something going through the air, but really
Super slow, just chilling, looking at you.
How is it even doing that?
Like a dandelion fuzz. Just
It's majestic almost. It's beautiful. Now, according to legend, the Mapinguari was once an Amazonian shaman who had discovered the key to immortality. This, of course, angered the gods because they get really annoyed when humans live for too long.
They have such fragile egos.
they
know,
really
little-
do.
Fickle. They are.
Calm down.
Now, for his transgression, he was transformed into the hideous Mapinguari. The creature is said to be anywhere from 7 to 9 feet tall when standing upright. It has extremely long arms that end in claws that can tear apart trees and people.
And also furniture.
Yes, oh yeah, totally. Rip apart a sofa like a mofo. Now, it's said to have only one large eye in the middle of its head. But,
What?
yeah, just this one big freaking eye in the middle of its head.
woke. Just woke as fuck.
He's so woke he only needs one eye.
Just the third one, but there's only one.
This is my third eye.
Yeah.
You don't even get to see my other two. You're not woke enough. But To make up for it, it has a giant second mouth on its stomach. Some have described it as having backward-facing feet to confuse those who would track it.
Oh, gotcha.
But some also say because of the sloth theory, if you look at the claws of a sloth, they turn backwards. And so the curvature makes it look like it's going forward when it's going...
I did not know that about
They're
sloths.
so slow they look like they're going backwards.
The backwards feet to confuse would-be trackers is extremely funny to me. I don't know why.
That's a hell of an evolutionary trait.
Right, thank you.
Like,
Who was the first? Which one was the first one? And like, never mind. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
they are so paranoid that they spent eons
Figuring
correcting.
out, like, all right, hang on, wait a minute. If I get it just right and walk backward.
That's some really some.
Again, they
you
worked
gotta,
on this.
Open up
What
your
do you-
hips a lot
right,
for
yeah,
that.
It's very
Squats.
Its fur is said to either be a dark, thick, matted fur, but others have said the skin was closer to that of an alligator. Those who have encountered the beast say that it is impervious to arrows as well as bullets. So the thing is tough. Awesome. The legendary Mapinguari only weakness is it has an aversion to water. It is thought that it cannot move very easily in water, and so it tends to avoid those areas whenever possible.
So it kind of looks like a crocodile or an alligator, but at the same time, they cannot move within water.
Right. So obviously
problem.
it got the skin of the alligator, but none of the other properties.
That's interesting.
Very confusing.
But it might be just the matted fur, and it just looks slick and black, and so because no one's going over and petting one of these guys. Going,
They've only shot at
No one
it.
gets the real feel of it, you know. Yeah, shot it.
Also, they have steel bones, so they get in the water. It's like, and I'm drowning.
No, that's Wolverine. It's
That's not
adamantium.
steel. Yeah, thank you.
Damn it.
Nice try.
Nerd heat check.
Boom. Of course, it's always accompanied by a horrible stench. All Bigfoot creatures always have a horrible stench. The swamp ape, the swamp cat, they all have this horrible stench for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. They need to bathe. Now, according to local accounts, even though the beast is huge, it can move silently through the thickest bush. Waka waka. It may even have powers far beyond that of any run-of-the-mill Bigfoot. Run-of-the-mill Bigfoot. Just an average mill Bigfoot. Seeing that one a dozen times this week.
2%, your average, yeah. Like,
According to Domingos Parentintin, a tribal leader in the Amazonian state, quote, it has the power to make you dizzy and turn day into night. So the best thing to do if you ever see one is climb a tree and hide. Unlike many of these types of cryptids, the Mapinguari is said to be a voracious carnivore. During a 3-week killing spree, local villagers say it ripped apart about 100 cattle, eviscerating their bodies and ripping the tongues out of the cattle.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
you guys
they're
ever had a
not-
lengua taco, though? Those things are really good.
but not with guacamole anymore, evidently.
Uh-huh.
Although Bigfoots tend to shy away and retreat when encountering humans, the Mapinguari tends to charge and attack. Some believe it is a defender of the rainforest. It is said that they will hunt down poachers and people who do not respect the unwritten rules of the jungle.
Do they hunt in groups?
All right.
There's one.
There can be
Possibly.
only one.
There may be more than one, but the thought is that there's just one giant motherfucker running around in the forest.
Do they have a GoFundMe? I would totally donate to these.
Let's
Get
do
him,
it. Let's do it.
whatever, some more.
Help out, Mapinguari, please. If you can only give a little, give even more.
Give a lot.
Now, quote, often the Mapinguari gets revenge on people who transgress, who go where they shouldn't, harvest more animals or plants than they can consume, or set cruel traps, was said by Marcio Souza, a prominent Brazilian novelist and playwright. So if you happen to travel to the forests of Brazil, pay heed, obey the rules, and respect the sanctity of the rainforest, or you too may encounter the Mapinguari.
Nice. Wow, so the Mapinguari, huh?
Yeah, fuck that shit. I think that what we're dealing with here is a Sasquatch. Okay, let's stop lying to ourselves. Those aren't claws or anything. Those are big feet, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Okay,
Why
we
would
got a
you say
Sasquatch.
We switched gears there really
Yeah.
quickly.
Well,
What
because
happened?
I actually, have you ever actually thought that you're in the presence of a Sasquatch? Have you ever felt terror like you've never felt before, even though you didn't see a Sasquatch? Well, look, let me tell you. When I was a kid, a long time ago, way before many of you were alive, was when the Bigfoot phenomenon started hitting. When you had it on TV shows like In Search of and things like that.
Dude, calm down. Come
No,
on.
it's terrifying because they're huge creatures. They can run really fast. They stink really bad.
No, but just calm down.
Big.
Man.
You
Chill
gotta-
out.
I was a kid. Okay,
Let us know.
I was a little kid.
So this really happened to you?
Yes, this really happened to me. And like I said, I didn't see a Sasquatch. but this is the time of the Sasquatch, and I was a little kid and so terrified, and we went on a vacation with our parents up in North Carolina in the mountains.
Okay.
Very secluded house in the mountains, surrounded by forest and trees and rocks, and that's where the Bigfoot likes to stay. And so as a little kid, I'm absolutely terrified by this. There's nothing that anyone could say that would convince me that there wasn't a Bigfoot out in that forest. And so at night, have to lay in this one big living room with my brother. We're laying there, and we're talking about the Bigfoots, and we're scared of the Bigfoots.
As you do.
As you're wont to do. And looking out the porch, they just had this big glass door, and they had no curtains or nothing, so we couldn't close it. So all you had to do is look out into the valley, and all we want to do is close it, because every time you look out there and you're a little kid, all you can see is a glimpse of a Bigfoot. Not you just keep on everything you see, every shadow, every glimpse is a Bigfoot.
What did you see that night, Mandaddy?
We didn't see, we heard.
Oh my.
And so we're laying there in cots on the floor, little kids, and in the night, all you can hear, and this is the glass is looking out over a valley. It just goes out into a valley, and it's just a huge, beautiful valley. So what you hear is, help, help.
My God, that's terrifying.
Just over and over, echoing over the valley. And laying there as a kid, I just knew that a Sasquatch was attacking someone, or a man was in danger of a Sasquatch attack.
Whoa.
What the hell? There it is! Oh my God! Okay, guys, we are in a lot of trouble right now.
Carl?
Huh?
Fritz?
We're over here, Carl. Come here. What are you doing?
Hi, Carl.
Okay.
What the hell is going on here?
What?
That's a Bigfoot! Look at the feet! That's a Bigfoot! Look at the hair! Look at these!
You know this guy?
Whoa!
Oh, my God.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Carl, you are awfully stompy right now. Please just stop. Just relax. Okay?
I can't help it. I'm just a big, dumb animal, all right?
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know any better.
You seem to have
That's what y'all think of me, huh?
No.
Mandaddy, Kaz, Angela, Carl Winslow, the Sasquatch.
What's up, man?
What the hell?
Carl.
Hi,
Hey,
Carl.
Carl Winslow, the Sasquatch.
Carl,
not,
sir.
not to be confused with the beloved TV dad on the sitcom Family Matters.
Oh, I was about to say,
different,
Definitely thought of that
totally different guy, not me.
Yeah, legal.
It's a
we
pretty,
have to.
pretty
we
common
have to say
name,
that.
though, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you know.
imagine there's more than a couple.
So, Fritz.
Yeah, what's up?
I just I got a couple of purchase orders for you to sign here.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, in case you guys didn't know, I'm Carl Winslow. I am the landscape architect here at the fort. That's why it's a constantly evolving, constantly shifting.
Fantastic work.
Wonderful job.
You have a Bigfoot as your lawn maintenance dude?
Well, Angela and I were talking earlier. She didn't know that I had scheduled it for tonight because I never replied to her last email. But yeah, I met a Sasquatch, Carl Winslow, and he's going to be our special guest today. He was running late, probably because of purchase orders.
Purchase orders, gotta get you to sign for this sod.
Sure.
My card broke down. Carl's
Do you
gonna
have a
have
pen?
some. Yeah, here. Nope. Must have left
No
it back
pockets
in the-
on there.
There's one down there.
Are you naked? You have no pockets. You're naked, basically, aren't you?
Well, he's covered in fur.
Pretty
Yeah, but
woolly.
still.
I'm pretty woolly. Those trucks you guys saw coming in, the Mapinguari. Yeah, that was with the day labor. Remember, I'm not a lawn maintenance guy, Mandaddy.
Employ one of these things?
I am a landscape architect. Okay, so the Mapinguari, that's my day labor. That's Steve Austin. Not to be confused with the famous wrestler
what?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, nor the $6 million man Steve Austin.
There are way too many parallels.
Do I have? I have to sign this second one too.
Yeah, that one is right below there.
Oh, that's a lot of.
Well, no. See, this is just
No, let me take some time with this. This is like legalese. I didn't know I was going to be signing this.
He can't read. Give me that.
Yeah, you and I had talked about this. Angela, please.
Look,
Yes,
it's a
please, give me
standard
that.
contract that we do with the purchase orders we do with every job that we do with Cryptid Landscape Co. LLC Incorporated.
Well, let's take a break as Angela peruses my legal matters. You are listening to Fort Fritz.
No one said to clean up the palmettos. Nobody said that. Welcome back to Fort Fritz. I'm Angela, and I'm looking over these papers here, and actually, these look like waivers.
Really?
Yeah. They look like waivers for us to actually ride Carl.
So these are like permission slips to get on top of a cryptid, or what would we be?
A waiver is similar to a permission slip in that you are giving permission to Carl to kill us or injure us in this transport.
No, it's just a standard contract. Look, I don't want to be futzing about. I want to be showing you the project that we're working on, and in order to get there quick, y'all gotta get on my back.
What is this project?
Oh, we're putting in one of them natural, like, diving pools with, like, a waterfall and such. Oh, yeah.
That's so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So there's like a whole ecosystem going on?
Oh, yeah, it's all natural. You know, we ship in everything. We work with some farmers, hence all the purchase orders. But like I said, let's get over to the site, and y'all hop on my back.
I'm going to immediately sign this. Can you just go ahead and... there you go.
Right,
it's done.
Okay, I'm going to do this, but has anyone noticed the scent? It's a little
very pungent.
Yeah, pungent. It gets right in your nostrils. It's right in there.
So why do we have to get in your back? Where are we going? What are we doing?
We're going to get up, we're going to go look at the waterfall itself that we've been working on for a while. So I've got my best man, my best concrete guy up there, finishing up the mountainside, and
nice.
Yeah. So all right, here, let me just throw you on the back.
Yep, me first.
All right.
Here we go.
1, 2,
Guys,
3.
I'm reading the fine text on this. I don't know if we want to do this.
Oh man, it's like a sleeping bag built into a shirt pocket. Look at me.
Oh, you look so cute.
That's adorable.
Look at me. I'm like a little worm in a little sleeping bag.
It says if he accidentally takes a nap and we die, it's not his fault.
If you're a narcoleptic, you have to tell us, right? Like, if you're a cop, you had to tell me you're a cop. Are you a narcoleptic?
I will neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Okay, that does.
Let's hop on there.
Let's do it. Sounds good.
Guys, when he talks, you can feel it in your rib cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's jiggly.
Ooh.
Everybody in the pocket.
Ooh, we feel that.
Ooh. How does all the pockets fit really well? This is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's one of them utility smocks I got. Landscape architects are known to be wearing utility smocks.
It's like I'm a baby Bjorn.
Oh.
You look swaddled.
Yeah, look, it even says, got my name embroidered right there underneath. It says Carl Winslow, not to be confused with the beloved TV father of the sitcom Family Matters.
Damn, it does say all of that.
It says all of that. That's amazing. It's a nice font.
It's a big patch.
It's a big patch. Yeah.
It's a big guy.
I am as we prefer to be called, Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
With an I?
Sasquatch.
Is that like is that like the group name, or is that like, are you a Sasquatch and a bunch of Sasquatches?
You're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
The Sasquatchy.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Would Sasquatch be like a capital S, like referring to all Sasquatch?
Yeah, it's like some Canadian word. I don't know. I'm not some word doctor.
So you are Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of obvious.
Sasquatch.
I don't really want to go to the mountains, guys.
Too late. We're there.
Wow, that was quick.
I got big feet.
Have you guys ever heard of the Almas?
What?
No.
The Almas of Mongolia?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
totally.
I
was thinking
like
of
a
the 70s
mariachi
rock
band. Yeah.
Oh, you mean John? Yeah, I know him.
You know Almas. You know John Almas?
No, his name is John Connor, not to be confused with the main character from the movie series, The Terminator.
You guys need to start, like, branching out from your name choices. It's all very confusing. It starts to get very, like, muddied.
No, it seems like it's all 80s pop culture reference. I guess they are children of the 80s.
No, John, air quotes, the Almas, Connor. He's my...
No.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't heard of that guy.
He's my best concrete guy.
Oh, really?
Of course he is.
No shit.
You know, I'd like to employ all of the big feets, all of the Sasquatches, all of the what-have-yous.
So, you're saying there's different, I guess, genuses? Is there, like, different... Are you all different cultures? What's the deal?
Well, I mean, I guess there's a whole lot of type of human beings, right?
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about it like that.
We are so not woke.
Damn.
Yeah, very narrow-minded.
Right?
You guys ain't straight 100. Bigfoot keeps it real. All day.
I thought you were a Sasquatch.
High up in the Caucasus and Pamir Mountains of Central Asia and the Altai Mountains of Southern Mongolia, people have reported sightings of a certain wild man, more human than ape, and they call it the Almas. This area of the world is hostile and unforgiving. treacherous mountain ranges and bleak winters do not make it a welcoming area to live.
This is Central Asia?
This is Central Asia, the Altai Mountains of southern Mongolia.
Mongolia.
Almas are said to be over 6 feet tall and covered in reddish-brown fur. They are bipedal, so that means they walk on 2 feet, with anthropomorphic facial features such as pronounced brow ridges, flat noses, and no chin. And sadly, they are described as hairy and stinky and mute.
Hairy, stinky, and mute. That's the worst dating profile I've ever seen.
But
Just gotta put it out there.
huge heart.
Yeah.
Just the biggest heart.
Biggest hearts and living in Paleolithic squalor.
Any gamer, professional hacker.
John's got a drinking problem. He lives in squalor right now. He's not proud of it. He knows.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
Started it. Though close to the Himalayan mountain range, the Almas are not considered to be anything like the Yeti in terms of intelligence and behavior. They are thought of as a relic population of human ancestors. They use tools and communicate using gestures. Occasionally, they have been seen wearing animal fur as clothing during winter.
So they're a highly advanced species, so they have tools, obviously. They can craft clothing.
Yes, they are kind of considered very close to the Homo erectus. Native traditions dating back hundreds of years claim the exchange of trade goods between Mongolian villages and the Almas. There are also drawings of these beings in Tibetan apothecary books, which are said to only include valid species recognized in the region. They're actually
shit.
in these, medicinal books.
Like an encyclopedia, like an old
Yes.
ancient Mongolian encyclopedia? That's amazing.
And also commercial economic books because they were trading.
They were trading with
other-
them.
Correct.
That's crazy.
In the mid-15th century, Bavarian nobleman Hans Schildberger was fighting the Ottoman Empire and taken prisoner. After the Battle of Ankara in 1402, he was released and he followed Timur the Lame to Uzbekistan and then Timur's son into Siberia and Mongolia. By 1427, he had returned to Bavaria and wrote about his journey. In his writing, he describes 2 different creatures, the Almas and the Przewalski horse of Mongolia. Both species whose existence was doubted. Until later, the Przewalski horse was verified as actually living, only to make one suspect that he wasn't lying about the Almas either. One of the most popular stories told was from the 1880s. Russian investigators Igor Butsev, Dmitry Bayanov, Alexander Mashovskas, and Boris Porshnev in 1964 collected over 100 accounts of the capture and taming of an Almas woman.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's not clear how she was captured, but she was taken in by a nobleman named Edgy Ganaba and kept in a village in an enclosure because it was said that she acted like a wild beast.
So this was an actual report filed?
Yeah, so in 1964, these Russian investigators, Russian historians, looked into a story from the 1880s.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
You said there were over 100 accounts?
Over 100 accounts of this woman.
100 accounts?
Yes.
So it's like a feral person.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Like
She
Nell.
was treated kind of like Nell. Chicken May. Fortunately and eventually, she was given more freedom. She was described to have all the features of the Almas. Reddish brown fur, very tall and muscular, and a flat nose. She didn't speak and preferred to sleep in the ground. She was given tasks such as grinding grain into flour and bringing home firewood and water. Her teeth could crack walnuts. She could run as fast as a horse and swim across treacherous rivers.
Like a beaver.
She was named Zana, and Zana eventually had sexual relations with her owner,
Of course.
Edgy Ganaba.
Come on,
We
Edgy.
can all see that happening. That was going to happen.
Thanks to Edgy, she gave birth to many children, most of whom sadly died in infancy. But 4 of her children did survive and assimilated into normal society, looked like regular humans, married, and had families of their own. DNA samples were later taken from Zana's living relatives to find that she was 100% sub-Saharan African, but not of any known group. It was believed her ancestors had left Africa 100,000 years before and had lived in the Caucasus region, and who may have been the original Almas people.
Wow.
Actual science behind something. That's nice to hear.
In 1964, same year, more accounts from Russian historian Boris Porshnev portray Almas to have cone-shaped skulls and teeth structures similar to humans, just with wider canines.
Is that similar to the Peruvian skulls that are kind of elongated like aliens? Or
A little bit, yeah.
So it kind of looks like the classical like H.R. Geiger alien look from was that Ridley Scott?
Yep.
Yeah, so that kind of elongated head.
No, just more like upright,
Like
more
a
like
cone
the
head.
cone head from
Cone
like,
head.
like...
Coneheads.
Yeah, cone
Gotcha.
heads.
Aykroyd.
Dan
Boom.
Aykroyd. I was like, who the hell is that guy's name? Yeah. Boris also said he actually encountered direct descendants of the Almas, groups of families living in holes in the ground. He said they were human-like with excellent swimming, remember? And running abilities, and a foul odor.
Always.
Even as recent as 1992, Russian cryptozoologist
There it
Dr.
is.
Marie-Jean Kaufman and Frenchman Sylvain Palix gathered data using hair samples, footprints, and droppings, supporting that the Almas were large hairy creatures weighing as much as 500 pounds, nocturnal, and could run as fast as 40 miles per hour.
Whoa. It's pretty freaking fast.
So, do the Almas exist? Or are they just stinky, hairy introverts who prefer the solitude of a good hole in the ground?
So that's interesting. So, Carl Winslow, do you have any opinions on this matter? I mean, I know that this is near and dear to your heart, but is it something you can comment on?
Yeah. So first, to answer the first part of that question, yes, they exist. And secondly, John is a stinky beast. He really is quite a POS, if you know what I mean. He gets a couple drinks in him. He thinks, oh, my lineage goes back. So you should hear him go on, yada, yada, yada. He thinks he's so much better than us, don't you, John? Sorry.
He looks pretty angry over there.
I'm
He's definitely
sorry.
sulking over
Like
there.
white-collar Bigfoot over.
Touched a nerve, it seems.
I'm so sorry, but you do know that we are recording all of this, right? Like this is a podcast, so everything you say about John, it's out there.
He knows what he did.
Yeah, there's some bad blood between these two big squashes. Squashies. Squashies.
It's a squatch.
It's a squashashi?
So did you actually travel to Mongolia to meet John, or did you meet him in the States here? Or what
Good
was the
question.
deal?
Of course I went to Mongolia. I mean, business expense. Sorry, Fritz. Yep, got one of them corporate cards. Just put it on the card. Fly straight over to
You
Mongolia.
are an extremely professional landscape architect. I got to say, like the grounds have been immaculate, and just your uniform, your entire demeanor, you've been just a delight. Honestly,
Honestly, I like to think I pay sort of homage to Olmsted and Burnham. I'm sorry,
Burnham.
Olmsted and Burnham. You know, the guys who did Central Park
Right.
and Prospect Park.
Flatiron building in New York City.
No, landscape.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Landscape only. So, anyways, this is the start of the outcropping that we are doing for you for your diving board. It's
I
all
love
natural.
it. Who signed off on this?
Well, look right down here. I've got the paperwork. Hold on, let me thumb through it.
Mandaddy is squirming a little bit.
And here it is.
Oopsie.
What is this? What does that say there?
Hold on. What does that say? Mandaddy?
Yeah.
Mandaddy signed for this?
Yeah, I totally did. I'm sorry.
You have no legal right for that.
I know, that's why it was so hilarious to me. He was just like, hey, could you sign for this thing? And I didn't even read it. I'm like, sure, I'm going to sign for this
it's
thing.
this
That's
like
hilarious.
why does your signature allow you to make such like exorbitant purchases on behalf of Fritz?
His wizard-like look made me think he was some sort of CFO.
I get that a lot.
That's true.
That's valid, I guess. Yeah. Angela, would Felix do this back in the day? Like he would let anyone sign for anything? Did you ever sign for stuff like this?
I signed for everything.
Like what?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Did you sign for the gymnasium filled with actual rats?
Yeah, I did.
I know sure as heck she signed off for the kangaroo petting zoo.
Oh,
The Roo Zoo for short.
It totally kicks people in the chest. It's hilarious.
That sounds horrible.
It didn't do so well.
That's what we're looking at now?
We're reimagining it.
I gotcha.
We're using the obits to make something new.
What happened to all the kangaroos?
They were sent to a sanctuary.
I was going to say, did you remember to feed the kangaroos, or were they sent to a sanctuary?
Upstate.
They were sent to a sanctuary. Don't ask any more questions.
I guess we have to live with that.
Okay, well, the kangaroo are dead. What else can you
We got a bunch of dead kangaroos somewhere around here.
What else can you show us around this magical forest of mystery and wonder?
John, you almost done? Yeah, see, he doesn't talk. He just does that gesture all the time.
Yeah, it was like it was aggressive.
Well,
I didn't like it.
It was definitely a finger.
you just let him do his thing. He's an odd nut.
Done.
So, looking over this, you can see the diving board. And we have what used to be the kangaroo enclosures, which we have turned into a cascade staircase with a nice splash at the bottom.
Well done.
Solid
Yeah.
granite. We have a topiary garden off to the left.
Bravo.
Over here to the right, we have a built-in bocce ball court.
That's
I don't even
nice.
know how
It's
to
a lot
play
of fun.
bocce ball.
You
Puts to
will.
bed.
But perhaps most spectacularly of all, if you would be so kind as to turn around.
Oh, what?
Oh my God.
Way.
That is beautiful.
It's a hand-dug Infinity Lagoon.
That is spectacular. You dug that with your hands.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I just design everything. I hire out for that.
He was like,
My
man,
own
that's
source.
That's my man,
Smart.
Carl.
Well done,
He's
well
an idea
done.
guy.
That is amazing.
My God, this is beautiful. This is just stunning.
Carl,
Stunning
you
work.
are a master.
He is. He is. I mean, can we just
Yeah,
say this
yes.
Infinity
I'm
Lagoon?
totally
Most amazing.
mesmerized by
It's
this.
just stunning. Stunning.
So good.
I would take a bow, but all of you would fall out of my pocket.
You'd probably kill, you'd kill all of us.
No, please don't. Oh my God, I'm sweating now. Please don't
No,
ever say
it's
that again.
all right. You're good.
This
You're
is now
good.
terrifying. This is now terrifying.
Okay,
Hey, well, why don't I introduce you to my lagoon guy?
that would be great.
Okay, that would work out for all of us. Yeah, let's because whoever dug this and made this beautiful, I just want to see it. I just need to meet this guy.
I'm not opening my eyes anymore now.
You've seen all you need to see.
I'm too scared. I just want to be put down.
No,
I opened it. Oh my God, no.
yeah, it's still we're still up here.
You're okay, little buddy.
We probably need a quick break to like get our centers, get ready for this because I want to experience this lagoon in person.
Yeah, Carl, can you just take a knee for a minute?
All right, let me.
Whoa, I felt like zero gravity there for a second.
awesome.
Oh my God.
That burrito's coming right back.
Where'd you get burritos?
I always have burritos, man. You just didn't ask.
That's bullshit.
You're listening to Fort Fritz. Welcome back. You've been listening to Fort Fritz. Here we are, approaching this here Infinity Lagoon that my company, Cryptids Landscapes Co. LLC Incorporated has built for the fort.
Enough
Slow
with the
down,
plug.
slow
Enough
down.
with the
Yeah,
plugs,
come on.
Carl.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting nauseous, please. All of this moving back and forth is really bad on my spine and my inner ear.
All right, well, I'm not going to go too deep, but I want you to be impressed by how deep this really is. So
All right.
I got my waders on. Let's go into the lagoon.
I don't feel comfortable.
Go
happy
into the
about this.
lagoon.
Wait, can I put my cell phone back? Okay, no.
You'll be
no
all right.
water.
Just getting up to the chest level.
Little chilly. Little chilly.
That's nice.
Oh, it just hit my balls!
Oh,
Oh,
Is
daughter's
this-
wet.
is this a natural fed spring? It's like the 72 degrees. What is this?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We dug it. We dug until we hit water.
And then you just let it fill itself. That's amazing.
Yeah, I got a lagoon guy. We call him J.R. Ewing. Not to be confused with the villain masterfully portrayed by Larry Hagman on the smash hit 80s television show Dallas.
Also, I Dream of Jeannie.
J.R. Ewing?
J.R. Ewing. That is my lagoon guy. We brought him in from Vietnam. He said he specializes in lagoons of all shapes and sizes.
That is amazing. And this water is crystal clear. I mean, I can see my balls just floating underneath.
Why are your
Why are you
balls
always
freezing?
Put your pants back on. What's
Jesus
wrong with
H.
you?
Christ.
You know, you think after a while, I can trust my friends.
No, we should be able to trust you not to have whipping out your balls all the time.
I was in my own sleeping bag.
Oh, whoa.
What?
You see that?
His balls? Yes, I did. I'm terrified.
No, not his balls. It was. They were covered in reddish brown hair, though. But they were little men running through the jungle. Carl, back us out a little bit. I need to get on dry land.
All
also,
right.
his balls are weirding me out.
All right.
I agree.
Here we go.
right.
Back
I'm
on
sorry, I didn't
land.
know I had a see-through sleeping bag.
That's my pocket protector.
That's what I've been in the whole time?
It's my pocket protector, and I would take kindly to you not rubbing your balls on it.
You're like in a nerd womb.
I am a landscape architect.
Yes, he has to have a place for his giant. You must have giant, massive pens.
I do.
Okay, and a giant.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm seeing more. There's definitely multiples. This is like I don't know if you would call them a sasquatch or what. They're not as large as even Fritz. They're pretty small.
Little tiny guys.
Hey, I'm 5'4".
Yeah, we know.
Well, not all Bigfoot have to be big.
That's right. Great things come in small packages.
Why have the word big in it?
They could just be small, but with big feet.
Wouldn't they just be feet?
Mandaddy, we know and we appreciate your views on this topic, but please let's put it to bed.
It's no reason to get into a fight this time.
Thank you.
Yeah, let it go. You wouldn't want to cry yourself to sleep over a goat in a valley, Mandaddy.
Whoa!
Wow.
Shots
What are you talking about?
fired.
This goat?
Totally just trolled
well, that
you.
goat sounded exactly like you,
Shots.
so I don't know if you're out there teaching goats how to imitate you or if you imitate goats. I don't know what's going on. Fuck your goat. That's not funny, dude. That's not funny. That's not funny at all. Okay.
All right, guys, break it up.
If
Listen,
you aren't
we are
so
surrounded.
giant, I'd kick your fucking...
You're gonna
I'm not
cry?
gonna kick anything. Just settle down. We see them. Look, they're like different sizes too. This is okay. This is reminding me of you guys. Have you ever heard of the Nguoi Rung?
Nope.
Oh.
The Nguoi Rung.
Yeah, JR. He's definitely one of
He's
those.
Nguoi Rung?
Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce it. That's how you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I always felt like a complete racist. I slaughtered that thing the first time I tried it.
No, yeah, it's a tough word to pronounce for sure. It's Vietnamese or I guess Southeast Asian in origin. Laos.
Laos.
Thank you. Vietnam, Cambodia, even into Borneo. And I guess what distinguishes this particular sasquatch from the other ones is that they do vary in size. They've sightings, and we'll get into the specifics later, but there have been sightings from even 3 to 4 feet tall up to 7.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How do you spell this again?
You spell this Nguoi space RUNG.
And it's Nguoi Rung.
Nguoi Rung.
In the Bigfoot community, we just call them Allfoot. They're the Allfoot.
Allfoot. Right.
All shapes and sizes.
That's beautiful,
That's
actually.
really lovely,
I
actually.
I love your
I-
philosophy.
Very
I appreciate
open-minded.
Right.
that. I guess more colloquial language, they're known as the Batutut.
Well, that's way cuter. That's way
Right?
cuter.
So we're going to go with Batutut.
Batutut.
I love
do you-
it.
how do
Because I
spell
like
that?
saying that. Batutut. Or the Ujit. Ujit.
Sounds more like, oh shit.
There's a bunch of little hairy men in the bush.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Holy shit. So as stated, they vary in size, and sightings have been going on in the region since essentially recorded history. It's a similar theme in that there was a resurgence of interest in these particular cryptids or hominids, depending upon how you want to look at it, in the, I guess, 70s and 80s when, certain boys would be scared of certain goats out in the valley.
Fucking son of a bitch, dude.
Always taking swipes.
I will drown you in this lagoon right now.
Hashtag roasted.
Thank you. How do you know about hashtags?
I use a computer. What do you think? I
Oh, shit.
I
I'm
AutoCAD
sorry.
all
No,
of
dude,
these
that was
lagoons.
ignorance on my part.
Kaz.
I
What does the
apologize.
keyboard
Carl.
look like?
Wow.
It's got to be a
Carl,
giant,
that was my
massive-
fault. Dude, this is a learning experience for me right now. Learning moment. I apologize.
I'm learning about that. I've always wondered why all my guys, all of JR's crew, they have these T-shirts they wear that says Batutut Crew 4, the number 4, life.
It's probably because they're all part of the Batutut.
Now I know. No,
They all hang together. They're so
Batutut crew?
Batutut crew.
4,
Batutut crew. Batutut crew.
Batutut Crew 4, the number 4, life.
Is life spelled out?
Yes.
They could get away with
No
with
Y, just no
the
Y.
4L.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's their club.
Yeah, right.
Did he ever ask you to join?
So, it doesn't really work in the microcosm of middle management. Owning a
That's true.
small
You can't
business.
fraternize with the
work
Yeah.
thing.
with the
It's a
low
work
level
thing.
employees.
It
makes
helps
sense.
to boost morality and cooperation of the workers to rally against the authority.
So the resurgence of the sightings sort of coincided with, I guess, the world's fascination with the Sasquatch and the Bigfoot cryptid. In the 70s and 80s, there was actually a request by the Vietnamese general Quang Minh Thao to basically get funding for an expedition to go to a remote village in Vietnam where some local villagers had claimed to have captured 2 of the Batututs and were willing to submit them for, I guess, scientific review.
So this is in the 1970s?
Correct, 1974.
Wow.
And he was granted this funding from the military. And again, not to like put too fine a point on it, this was the military that was able to successfully repel United States during
Vietnam.
Right, during the Vietnam War. So, you know, I wouldn't call it necessarily an inept group of people. And they gave this guy funding. And okay, so and this does kind of like fly in the face of that. The expedition was a failure. They weren't able to get to the village because of the remote, sort of dense nature of the jungle that they had to get through. But for me, the more sticking point there is this is like the Vietnamese army. A general says, "Hey, we got to go to this village and get this Bigfoot, these 2 big feet, and
Big feet,
Sasquatches." And
it's like deer, just Sasquatch.
the Sasquatch.
And I mean, I don't know how, like, I'm not extremely familiar, but my parents were in the military my whole life. I don't know how, like, familiar you guys were with trying to get, like, requisites, like, forms and stuff through, like, the bureaucracy of the military. But this guy was able to submit a piece of paper that said, "I'm going to get Bigfoot, give me money." And it went through all channels to the end where someone signed a check and said, yes, give him as much money as he needs to go get Bigfoot, which wasn't enough.
But remember, I just signed off for some crap that that I had no authority
well,
to do.
You are
so
also...
maybe that's going on over there, too.
That's true.
Maybe people are just like, hey, man, is that a form? I'll sign that shit right now.
Was it something like this? Hey, you know, if we got rid of that Bigfoot in the jungle, what been killing all of our troops, we can probably win this war quicker. And the general's like, I like the gumption. Get it done. Was it like something like?
I feel like it was. I feel like it was more like a.
He just bullshitted his way in. 2 weeks later, did you get it? No, that jungle, man. That's
damnedest thing. Trees, vines, everywhere. Couldn't get anywhere. It was bullshit. So there was another piece of evidence left behind by the Nguoi Rung or the Batutut, and it came in the form of some footprints. And you know, as your classic Bigfoot tale has, there were large, extremely large feet prints that looked man sort of shaped and sized with the appropriate number of toes and things like that. But I think the interesting thing came from these were specimens collected by a research professor from the University of Hanoi who was in the area to do sort of a survey of natural resources that he was there to collect. He was there on like other business. He was there to. I'm not sure, they don't really specify the exact nature of the experiment, but he was there to collect data on this and came across these prints, made a cast, and sent them back, and that's how we know of them.
Speaking casually, as a landscape architect, is it possible that this guy was just a rip-off artist? Because JR has been known to use his footprints as a maker's mark on the work that he does for, say, his Infinity Lagoons.
Oh, that would be amazing looking. Oh.
So perhaps the science guy was just removing the footprints as, quote, evidence and trying to pawn off the work of some hardworking Batutut as his own.
Well, if you happen to know the exact maker's mark of your buddy JR, the pictures of this footprint have been posted in the 14 News of the World publication, which is now known apparently as the Japan 14 Information Society. Well, and I'd also like to know is there a unique sort of printing on the bottom of your feet that allows you to know that this is JR and not a similarly sized Batutut?
Oh yeah. Every Batutut's got a different foot. Yeah, his is he's known to wear those old school Jordans, but big.
but they're small. But they're big.
Yeah.
So,
no, so again, they range in size, and as do Jordans.
Okay, that's right. That's true.
Right.
What size does this Batutut wear?
74.
74.
What?
Wow.
That's pretty big. That's like bigger. Like you could fit a bunch of shacks in there, like with a Q, not with a K.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Basketball player, a little smaller than you.
No. 80s?
More 90s.
Karl Malone?
No.
No, don't know. Utah Jazz.
Who was the other guy? John Stockton, Karl Malone?
He was Portland Trailblazers, John Stockton.
That was Clyde Drexler.
They were a team, didn't they? Right?
Carl Winslow, you do know that Vancouver now has a team, right?
You're shitting me.
One of the more recent exposures to the Batutut was actually on the Sci-Fi Channel's Destination Truth show.
That's a good show.
Starring Josh Gates. Hashtag Josh Gates. He and his team traveled to Vietnam in search of the Batutut. He interviews local primatologists and examines the casting of the original footprint taken, and actually ventures into the Cái Bang National Park and finds himself several large human-like footprints.
Really?
Makes castings of them, sent back to U.S. noted Bigfoot researcher and anthropologist Jeffrey Meldrum.
He's the best.
He's a fantastic guy.
Big fan of his work.
He makes good tea, too, right? Like, you ever had his tea?
No.
Fantastic tea.
I didn't know he was a teologist.
Jeffrey Meldrum called this print a significant discovery and one of the best pieces of evidence he has ever seen. And I would say to Jeffrey Meldrum, come on out to the Infinity Lagoon, because there's like 7 of them. There's like 3 right there. There's 4 on the other
Like a whole
end.
team of them.
They all got the T-shirts on. It's like a family reunion or something.
Gorgeous.
We're surrounded.
Hey, JR, tell your guys to get back to work.
You don't let him sunbathe every now and then? I thought that was just kind of like a staple to what time? Yeah, I see you're
Not on my time. Break time's almost over, guys. Not on my time.
Biggest watch I've ever seen in my life. Look at that thing.
That's
huge.
That's not a watch. That's like totally like a wall clock that he just like strapped to his wrist.
Yeah, it's huge. Right in front of my face.
Fritz, I know you signed or Mandaddy or Kaz or Angela, you sign the paychecks and keep the lights on, so to speak, but I didn't know that I was going to be given a pocket ride to a bunch of storytelling nerds today. It's not how I expected my day to go.
Well,
but
Extremely judgmental.
When I emailed
Right.
you,
Thank
I
you.
wait for it.
told
Wait
you.
for it. But I have to say, I think I made a friend today.
Oh,
Which
Just one?
was it Angela?
I'm not telling.
Oh, nice.
Rude.
Probably Angela.
It's a good surprise for someone later.
Can I take the sleeping bag home with me at least, or?
That is my pocket protector, but if you want, I could get a purchase order for one for you.
I very much enjoyed your work here, but I really don't like the way you treat your employees. It's really terrible.
Agreed.
I wouldn't have hired you if I knew that that's the way you manage things.
Well,
Disappointed.
It's a good thing that we signed that 20-year contract.
Ooh, not a good idea.
We got lawyers, so we can figure out a way out of that.
Is that true, Angela? Did you sign a 20-year contract with him? You didn't even bring that up to me?
Maybe. There's like a bunch of me. I never really think about it.
Well, I can't argue with that logic.
I feel like we learned a lot today about the different variations of the Sasquatch, and we were able to kind of dispel some of the myths that maybe they were all one kind and that they couldn't use computers and they didn't know like about the 90s. They don't know about the 90s. They knew about the 80s, though.
Carl Winslow
got
knows
that.
about the 90s. Well, no, that's true. He knows about the
Yeah,
80s.
that's pretty much all 80s. It's like 80s.
But he
across
knows
the board.
Twitter, apparently.
Wait a minute. Then what did we learn here today? I don't think I learned anything.
Yeah, this
I
is like
think Carl Winslow over here is just trying to take advantage of a commoner like me in his goddamn pocket protector. And now, look, I don't know why, but I'm signing it. I just bought 1,500 pocket protectors.
And right there. Hello there.
And it says initials.
Just initial one.
I signed there,
Stop
though.
signing. No, it's
initial
sign
one.
But I signed there when it says initial. Should I
okay.
cross out the
No, no,
signature?
it's okay. Just
I already
leave it.
crossed it out. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm going to initial over here. I'm going to circle it and then
Right.
initial that.
Okay. Then one more. There
The
on
date,
number 3.
I signed where the
That-
date is, too.
He's botching this.
That's all right. I'll just take it to Larry, the lawyer.
Okay.
It's just highlighted in those
How do
spots
you
with
know
tabs.
Larry?
Oh, I've got Larry on retainer.
He's got Larry on retainer.
That's not going to work.
God, dude.
Oh, getting a text now from Larry.
Wait, so how did he know if you were already talking to him? Are you like rigged for sound right now?
I'm sorry. I signed where it said print. I'm going to cross that out, too.
Just throw the whole paper
It's
away,
done.
man.
Oh
It's,
my
it's
God.
done. You scratched out everything. It's not even.
Let him
it's
write up
not-
a new one.
And yet I signed again. I got to get...
Just make a new one and
He's
make
not
it for
even using
one
letters.
pocket protector. He doesn't need 1,500.
I'm throwing it in the lagoon.
No.
Beautiful lagoon, though, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Gorgeous. Let me just jump in there.
Oh, that splashed on me. That had some ball water on it. I can tell. Oh,
I mean, it's like a ball water on it now.
Carl, I got my purchase order.
Well, since you messed up that whole first batch of papers, I got to go back to the office, to the trailer, and print out another copy. You guys just hang here at the fort, dropping you here on the porch, and I'll be back in, say, maybe 15, 20.
Thank you, Carl Winslow.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Carl
Carl.
Winslow.
Thanks, Carl.
That was, I'm still feel a little sticky from the inside of those pockets, but that was such a nice experience.
Sorry, I got your pocket wet.
That's all right. That's why it's made of plastic.
I know.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, Nick Spry.
Did I miss
How's it
anything?
going,
What's
buddy?
going on? I'm having a really relaxing day. Just been walking around, no freaking out whatsoever. Hey,
That's great.
Why are you all wet? Where'd your pants go? Whoa, are those purchase orders?
Yeah? We were just about
This guy's astute.
This guy sees it all.
We were just about to start episode 35, buddy.
I feel like I missed something really big here, but I can't quite put my foot on it.
Well, guys, see you later. Thanks for listening to Fort Fritz. You can catch us on iTunes, Stitcher, the iHeartRadio app, all platforms, whatever you're using to tune into your podcasts. Keep on checking us out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we'll be in touch as soon as where did I put those purchase orders?
Hey guys, who is that? Is that like a talking hair mountain? What is that?
See ya, Carl Winslow!
I love you! Who's Carl Winslow?